Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling empty? Your body's still there, but that familiar reflex completely gone? Have you ever wondered why you still eat carefully? Still try to go to bed early, yet every morning is met with a silence that feels unsettling? And what worries many men the most is this thought. What if this isn't just temporary fatigue, but a sign that your body is quietly losing something deeply important? The truth is, many men over 40 tell themselves something simple. It's just age. They accept it in silence, asking no one, telling no one, and slowly drift farther away from a sense of strength that once felt completely natural. But as a urologist and men's health specialist, I can tell you this plainly: your body is not broken. It's simply experiencing a blocked signal. And if you know how to open the right pathway at the right time, that morning reflex can absolutely return. If you find content like this helpful for men's health, consider subscribing to the channel Dr. Emily Carter, Men's Health, so you don't miss upcoming videos. And after you finish watching this one, if you feel it was truly valuable, you can leave a comment with the number 1. If you feel it wasn't helpful at all, feel free to leave 0. I read and respect every single piece of feedback. In today's video, I'll explain why the morning reflex has nothing to do with desire, but is actually a critically important health signal. More importantly, I'll guide you through one very simple step to do before bed, just a few seconds, discreet, no medication, that can help your body remember something it once did very well. But before we get to that, you need to understand what is really happening inside your body every night when you close your eyes and fall asleep. Do you know what the strangest part is? The morning reflex isn't something you get just because you want it, and it has nothing to do with what you're thinking about when you wake up. Many men feel confused and alarmed when it disappears, yet they don't understand what their body is actually trying to tell them. And it's this misunderstanding that causes them to miss the most critical window for recovery. While you're in deep sleep, especially during REM sleep, your body enters repair mode. Blood flow is redistributed, blood vessels dilate, the nervous system slows down, and beneath the surface, the body automatically triggers multiple natural erections. This isn't about pleasure. It's more like a maintenance exercise, helping erectile tissue stay elastic, nerves stay responsive, and blood flow from becoming stagnant. The problem is that over time, sleep quality declines, circulation slows, and nerve signals gradually weaken. When these nighttime erections become less frequent or disappear altogether, the erectile tissue starts to go idle, much like a muscle that hasn't been used in a long time. And then one morning, you suddenly realize your body no longer responds the way it used to. But if this is a biological cycle, the most important question is, what is disrupting this cycle at its root? And is there a way to restart it naturally? The next part will give you an answer that very few people have ever heard. Most men assume the problem comes down to hormones or aging, but in reality, it often starts in a place very few people pay attention to: the pelvic region. Years of prolonged sitting, lack of movement, chronic stress, even the habit of holding in urine all create a low-grade pressure that builds up day after day. It doesn't cause sharp pain or obvious warning signs, but it slowly compresses the most critical blood vessels involved in the erectile reflex. Think of blood flow like water running through a hose. When the hose is straight and open, the water flows strongly. But apply even light pressure and the flow weakens, no matter how much pressure is coming from behind. That's exactly what happens when the pelvic floor stays tense and the prostate remains chronically congested. The blood is still there, but it can't arrive at the right time in the right way. What's important to understand is that your body hasn't given up. It's simply adapted to that constant compression. And when that pressure persists all night long, instead of repairing itself, the body is forced to endure. The result? You wake up feeling tired, mentally heavy, and the morning is met with silence. But if pressure is the root cause, then the first step isn't stimulation, it's release. And that's exactly where we're about to begin. There's a very small moment before bed that almost everyone overlooks. You finish urinating and immediately get into bed, assuming everything is done. But in reality, the body often still retains a tiny amount of fluid right near the prostate. It's this leftover that, when you lie down for hours, creates constant pressure on the area that controls both urination and the erectile reflex. By taking just a few seconds to pause, using a very gentle action at the soft spot between the scrotum and the anus, the body can naturally release that built-up pressure. Many men notice an immediate but subtle difference: lighter, emptier, like releasing a valve that's been stuck for a long time. What matters is that this sensation doesn't come from force, but from precision. Once the pressure is reduced, blood flow finally has space to move. That's the first signal telling your body that tonight it doesn't need to stay tense anymore. And this is only the opening step, because once the pathway is clear, the next thing you need to do is reawaken a flow that's been compressed for years. Many men describe the sensation in their lower body as if it has fallen asleep. There's no pain, no obvious numbness, but the response is slow, delayed. That's not imagination. When blood and oxygen don't circulate properly, for long periods of time, erectile tissue and nerves gradually lose their natural sensitivity. A very gentle external touch applied in the right place can make a significant difference. When the pelvic floor relaxes, blood vessels that were once tightly compressed begin to open. Many men notice a feeling of warmth or a subtle, pleasant tingling. This isn't stimulation, it's circulation returning. What's fascinating is how quickly the body responds to the signal. It's like a muscle being massaged after being tense for too long. When reminded in the right way, it begins to function again. And it's often at this point that many people start sleeping more deeply, waking up less often during the night. But for the body to truly repair itself and reestablish that reflex during sleep, there's still one key factor left. Without it, everything stops at the level of minor improvement. And that factor lies in how you breathe just before you drift off to sleep. Many people lie down in bed, but their bodies are still in a state of tension. The heart is beating faster than necessary, the brain hasn't fully powered down, and the nervous system remains on high alert. In that state, the body doesn't prioritize repair, let alone subtle functions like nighttime erectile reflexes. By simply changing your breathing rhythm, you can send your body a completely different message. When you inhale deeply and exhale slowly through your nose, heart rate drops, blood vessels relax, and the nervous system shifts into rest mode. This is when the body begins producing the chemical signals essential for circulation and recovery. Many people don't notice the change immediately the very next morning, but in their sleep. Deeper sleep, more vivid dreams, and waking up with a noticeably different feeling. That's a sign the body has started doing the work it was meant to do all along. But for those who have lost the morning reflex for a long time, there's still one more step that can make this process faster and more pronounced. A step many people have felt hesitant about, but when properly understood, it turns out to be highly restorative. When a function hasn't been used properly for a long time, the body begins to forget its original response speed. This doesn't just happen to the muscles in your arms or legs, it also happens to erectile tissue. And much like physical therapy, the body sometimes needs to be reminded of the full sensation of healthy blood flow and natural physiological pressure. A gentle, controlled stimulus, allowing blood and oxygen to enter the erectile tissue evenly, without pain or force, can gradually restore this reflex memory. Many men are surprised to find that after a relatively short period of time, their bodies begin responding faster and more strongly, without any form of artificial stimulation. What matters most isn't intensity, but consistency and timing. When this step is combined with pressure release, improved circulation, and a clear rest signal before sleep, the body starts responding as one integrated system. And this is the point where many people ask, if all of this is so natural, why has no one ever explained it this way before? The answer lies in the fact that we tend to focus only on symptoms, while overlooking how the body actually functions. In the next part, I'll help you connect this entire routine, so you can understand why it has the potential to create real, lasting change. If you've made it this far, there's probably a very honest thought forming inside you. Maybe the problem isn't that you're past your prime, but that your body has been silent for too long. The most important thing I want you to take away from this video isn't a specific technique, but a new way of looking at your own body. The morning reflex isn't something to show off, it's a signal of how well your circulation, nervous system, and masculine vitality are truly functioning. Try this routine tonight, calmly and without excessive expectations. Simply listen to your body. Many people don't notice a change on the very first night, but they do notice deeper sleep, clearer mornings, and after a few days, a familiar sensation beginning to return. That's when you realize your body never gave up on you. If you feel this video helped you understand yourself better, leave a comment with the number 1. If you feel it wasn't a good fit, feel free to leave 0. I always respect honesty. And don't forget to subscribe to Dr. Emily Carter, Men's Health, because in the next video, I'll point out a very small evening habit that many people are getting wrong, and it's quietly interfering with prostate health and circulation. Don't miss it, because sometimes the thing that's making you weaker is hiding in the place you least expect.